let's talk about this. Spoiler warning for the events of Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Uruzu Hunt. Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans is my favorite series out of the franchise's titles, as it's definitely one of the most gritty and out there of the bunch, from the mysterious backstory to the unique mechanical designs, and of course, the demon namesakes. But when it comes to the side story titles, they really have a way of grinding my gears. From the unfinished story of Gecko and Uruzu Hunt, to the development hell of the mobile game, to Katsura Inoshi surviving, this. With the release of Uruzu Hunt's The Path of the Little Challenger, the basic synopsis of the Uruzu Hunt story is summarized into a short movie, and naturally, there are products to go with that. But today, I'm gonna be focusing on the Metal Robot Spirit's Gundam Marchosias, and how its apparent relation to, or apparent ownership by, the Baklazan family is completely ridiculous and breaks the canon established by the years upon years of storytelling. Before that, let me give you a basic rundown of the Marchosias' story and how it ended up in Uruzu Hunt. It was shown in the series through a flashback of the mobile armor IRL, challenging and beating up at least two of its kind during the Calamity War, since its equipment and performance allows it to fight mobile armors by itself to a certain degree. Not much is known about its whereabouts afterwards, as it isn't one of the 26 Gundam frames recorded to have remained after the war. But through means not specified, Demner Kitako Jr.'s grandfather got his hands on the frame and hid it in the Radonitsa colony, a prison colony that floats above Venus, where the frame was overhauled and maintained as the Gundam Hajiroboshi with drafted upgrade plans, similar to a family heirloom. It wasn't until a poetic reunion between Harael and Hajiroboshi that the machine's demonic past starts to resurface, with no one from AFAM Industries being aware of what the name Marchosias means, besides how Demner was told to hide the name by his grandfather. The name popped up a second time when the group faced off against the mobile armor Mebaya, where Hajiroboshi's disengaged limiter provided an edge to the group to survive the encounter and defeat the mobile armor. Immediately, there is a problem when factoring Marchosias' affiliation with the story of the Gundam frame. Immediately evident is how the Gundam Marchosias is not one of the 26 Gundam frames officially confirmed to exist in the current post-disaster timeline, a plot point that has been consistently reiterated throughout IBO's stories. Granted, there are some units that exist today that aren't part of the 26 frames, like the Asmodee and Flauros, so there's no immediate problem knowing that the Marchosias' frame is still kicking around. But it has been stated in the 2016 spring issue of Great Mechanics G that all 7 Stars members still possess their Gundam frames in their current age, meaning they're among the 26 confirmed surviving Gundam frames. Neither of these plot points are coherent with the Marchosias' backstory without a good explanation, and being a Gundam frame of such significance, if only minor relative to the other members, there would be a hunt over the whereabouts of the Gundam Marchosias, and it would not have gone AWOL that easily. Of course, I've seen people point towards how the Baklazans' treasury door was opened in one scene of the anime, and apparently the concept art of the Vingolf Gundam hangar, or maybe the Baklazans possess multiple Gundam frames. First of all, the opened door is closed in another scene showing the Baklazans' treasury, suggesting that one of the depictions is an animation error. Not to mention Uruzu Hunt takes place before Season 2, so logically it would have been returned to the Baklazan family anyway. The wine shop people point towards may very well be a mirrored asset with the logo pasted on top of the door, so it's likely that the door was meant to be closed. Secondly, the 7 stars are pillars of Gyatahorn's hierarchy, with their Gundam frames serving as symbols to their political power, like monarchs with their scepters or crowns. Not even the families at the top had multiple Gundam frames directly to their name, so there's no reason that a family so low in the royal hierarchy would have multiple machines. Even if they do, the political symbolism behind the machines would lose all significance as a result. Secondly is the location of the emblem. Unlike the rest of the 7 stars units that have their emblems on either their bodies or standard equipment, the Marchosias has it on its red cape. Just in case it's forgotten, a red cape in Iron-Blooded Orphans is a means of challenging someone, or in this case something, to a duel, ostensibly a symbol that existed since before the Calamity War. Sure, the cape looks cool, but it by no means should be considered part of the Marchosias' standard loadout. Besides, ever since its reveal in 2019, there was no indication throughout its public existence that it is part of the 7 stars. not the kit's manual, not official websites, not the game assets, not even the compilation movie, nor the mysterious third form of the Hajiroboshi teased in a key visual. To suddenly shoehorn this major plot point in just feels rather cheap, and it seems like a way to avoid designing a new unit that properly belongs to the Baklazans. Hell, if they can make the Gundam Zagan such a throwaway design, the Gundam frame that belongs to the Issue family, which is the most powerful family of the 7 stars by the way, what's stopping them from designing one that belongs to the Baklazans? Of course, a way to make this work is that the Marchosias is merely a representative of the armies under the Baklazan family, instead of it being under direct possession. Hence why the logo is on a challenge symbol instead of anywhere significant on the body or equipment. But we'll have to wait and see how the Mental Robot Spirits figure, if not a potential continuation of Uruzu Hunt, explains this. Finally, we look at the real-life history of the Gundam Marchosias. Naohiro Washio revealed that it's the first Gundam designed after the TV series, so the design may have been conceptualized as far back as 2017 if we give it the benefit of the doubt that it was designed after Season 2, with it being officially revealed to the public in late 2019. And at that point, there's a 6 to 8 year difference between the conceptualization and the lore drop. Now I'm going into speculation territory from here because I highly doubt that the Marchosias was intended to be the Baklazans family frame the entire time. For all we know, it's probably designed to be like the Asteroid Origin, a glimpse as to what was with one of the 64 non-7 stars frames. That's not to say that I don't think a similar plot point doesn't exist, as Kozo Mendo did allude to how Wistario's true identity isn't in fact Wistario Afam, and that he will not be able to stay the way he is when he knows the true name of the Gundam Hajiroboshi. This, in hindsight, may be the only link we now have to make this revelation make any sense at all. But at the same time, discounting the aforementioned plot holes, this was not further explored in what we now have of Uruzu Hunt's story. So while it would be a wild coincidence for a lost child of the Baklazan family to be reunited with their lost Gundam frame, any guesses from here would just be speculation. That is, without considering the aforementioned plot holes. I've rambled on for long enough, and we still don't have the full picture of Uruzu Hunt to make sense of what's going on with the Gundam Marchosias. I do understand it is designed to be a mysterious unit, and I do prefer it to keep it that way, but I just couldn't make any sense of how what writing and world building we now have could justify the Gundam Marchosias belonging to the Baklazans. I proposed a potential explanation, so what are your guys' thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. But personally, I really couldn't get behind this lore drop. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and a special thank you to the channel members, credits in the description below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.